and welcome back to EFD for this week's European Transfer Talk, where we round up the biggest gossip from the week just gone across the continent. We're entering the home straight of the January transfer window now, so don't be surprised if the deals start to spring up as clubs race to improve their chances for the back end of the season. As ever, tweet either me at Joe Tomlinson or the EFD squad account with the hashtag Transfer Talk with any gossip you come across, and if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to Eurofootball Daily with notifications turned on to never miss a video. Let's go! We kick off this week with one of Europe's biggest prodigies being linked with the reigning continental champions. Kai Havertz only turned 20 last summer, but this is already his 4th season as a key member of the Bayer Leverkusen squad. And his performances have been so impressive that Liverpool are willing to break the €100 million barrier to acquire his services. The first player born in 1999 to represent Germany, Havertz had a record-setting campaign with Bayer in 2018-19 with his 17 goals, the most by any player in Europe's top leagues, to end the season as a teenager. This season hasn't been quite as prolific, with just 3 goals and 2 assists in 15 Bundesliga appearances, but his underlying numbers have actually spiked. While shots per game have dropped to 1.6 from 2.6, his key passes per match have more than doubled to 2.3, and his dribbles have risen just as exceptionally to 2.1 a match. Mundo Deportivo claim that Jurgen Klopp is prepared to launch a bid totalling a massive €125 million, a figure that would be the 4th biggest transfer fee in history, as well as the biggest involving either an English or a German club. Havertz was also linked with a move away from the Bayer Arena last summer, but chose to stay as the club qualified for Champions League football. However, failure to qualify for the knockouts mean that the youngster is prepared to move on. The belief is that he has now outgrown his club, who have never won the Bundesliga, and the sheer number of sides interested in him make Leverkusen believe they can comfortably top 100 million. Chelsea and Manchester United, as well as Bayern Munich, of course, have all been tracking Havertz closely, but it's Liverpool that currently lead the race. It's hard to see how he could usurp one of the Reds' front three, so will more than likely play as a central midfield role. You can't see Havertz sitting on the bench for such a large fee, that's for sure. But what do you guys at home think? Would Kai Havertz be a good fit at Liverpool, and is he worth the €125 million that's been reported? Let us know in the comments below. Kai Havertz isn't the only German that could be on their way to Merseyside soon. Emre Can is now being linked with a £30 million move to Goodison Park. The 26-year-old has seen himself slip down the pecking order since Maurizio Sarri took over at Juventus, only amassing 2 starts and 281 minutes of Serie A action, as well as not being named in Juventus' Champions League squad for the rest of the season. Pjanic, Matuidi, Bentancur, Khedira, Rabiot and Ramsey are all ahead of the former Liverpool midfielder in the ranks, making Can the 7th choice in a 3-man midfield. So it's no particular surprise he wants out, and as it happens, Carlo Ancelotti is in serious need of a central midfielder. Tom Davies is the only centre mid in the Toffees squad to have topped 1,000 minutes so far this season and has started just 13 of their 23 Premier League fixtures. And long-term injuries to Andre Gomez and Jean-Philippe Mbamin leave Ancelotti short of options in that area of the pitch. It seems a straightforward enough move. Can isn't playing, Ancelotti wants players in his position, so maybe it's a match made in heaven. Tell us your thoughts though on this rumour in the comments below. Would Can be a good fit at Goodison Park? Next up, it's another outcast at a top European side. Real Madrid may be behind Barcelona in La Liga on just goal difference, but Isco has had very little impact on Los Blancos' season to date. The 27-year-old has featured in 11 matches but completed the full 90 just once, totaling just 522 minutes without a goal nor an assist to his name so far. With Gareth Bale, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo all racking up more game time than the Spaniard, it's no surprise that the former Golden Boy winner wants out of the Bernabeu. The side supposedly leading the charge for his signature though, well, that's Frank Lampard's Chelsea. With their transfer ban rescinded, the Blues are looking to make up for lost time in the market, and reports suggest that Isco currently tops their shortlist. Florentino Perez has reportedly set an asking price at €55 million for the 38-capped international, with his contract not set to expire until 2022. But is Isco still worth €55 million that he's being touted for, considering his lack of action or output so far this season? Click the I button and cast your vote right now. A surprising amount of clubs are having centre-back woes this season, and both Barcelona and Man City are looking towards the same person to address their issues in that area. Alessandro Bastoni made his debut for Inter Milan this season despite moving from Atalanta as an 18-year-old for a remarkable €31 million in the summer of 2017. Bastoni spent a year on loan at Parma and this season has made 9 starts under Antonio Conte, netting his first goal for the club in a 1-1 draw with Lecce at the weekend. Barcelona reportedly offered a straight cash deal for the now 20-year-old, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, which was outright rejected by the Nerazzurri. More interestingly though is the deal that Guardiola and City proposed. Apparently it's a part exchange offer featuring João Cancelo. Cancelo hasn't been able to steal the starting berth at the Etihad from Kyle Walker, and with short-term options like Victor Moses and Ashley Young being bought into Inter Milan, they might well need a longer-term option. The 25-year-old actually spent 17-18 on loan at Inter and looked to move there permanently from Valencia before Juventus snapped him up. Surely this would be a more appealing offer to the blue half of the San Siro, however, as of yet, there's no indication they'd be willing to sell in January. We round this week off with yet another former Manchester United player heading west to MLS football in Javier Hernandez. Despite signing for Sevilla from West Ham for £8 million just 5 months ago, Chicharito has barely featured for his new side. No senior striker has played less than the 31-year-old's 446 La Liga minutes. And with just 1 goal to show for it, boss Julen Lopetegui doesn't seem to mind letting him go. And the club he's set to join certainly have big shoes left to fill, with LA Galaxy signing Mexico's top goalscorer as a direct replacement for Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who somehow has ended up back in AC Milan. Not just that though, Chicharito would become the highest paid player in the league, earning a reported $7 million a year. That's twice as much as former teammate Wayne Rooney made in his stint stateside. Making this move would see Hernandez line up across town from compatriot Carlos Vela, who top scored in the USA last season for LAFC with 34 goals. Not just a season best, but an all-time league high too. LA Galaxy fans will definitely be hoping that their new signing can have just as much of an impact. So that's it for this week's episode of European Transfer Talk. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, and of course, go and watch the rest of the content on EFD like Stat Wars, like Continental Club. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.